The fog is about to get a whole lot darker and bloodier. Dead by Daylight is making waves, and for good reason. One of anime's most terrifying icons is stepping into the entity's realm. Tokyo Ghoul has officially joined the hunt, bringing its nightmarish horror to Dead by Daylight in a crossover that no one saw coming. But the real question is, are you ready to survive? On April 2nd, 2025, the hunt begins. Whether you're a long-time survivor or a bloodthirsty killer main, this crossover is about to shake up the game in a way we've never seen before. Tokyo Ghoul isn't just another anime. It's a world filled with gruesome transformations, unrelenting hunger, and pure terror. And now that horror is coming for you. So, who's stepping into the fog? What new abilities will this killer bring? And how will this change Dead by Daylight forever? Let's dive in. Dead by Daylight isn't just a game. It's a battle for survival where 4 players take on the role of desperate survivors, while one player becomes a relentless killer, hunting them down in a terrifying game of cat and mouse. With its ever-expanding roster of killers from legendary horror franchises like Resident Evil, Silent Hill, and Stranger Things, DBD has become the ultimate playground for nightmares. But this time, the terror is taking a new form, straight from the world of anime. Enter Tokyo Ghoul, a dark and brutal series that blends psychological horror, tragic storytelling, and grotesque transformations. The story follows Kaneki, a young man who is forcibly turned into a flesh-eating ghoul, struggling to survive in a world where humans and monsters are constantly at war. Now, these two worlds are colliding in a way we've never seen before. The eerie fog of Dead by Daylight is about to be infiltrated by the hunger-driven horror of Tokyo Ghoul. And trust me, this crossover will be unlike anything the game has ever seen. The newest killer stepping into Dead by Daylight's fog is none other than Kaneki, the infamous One-Eyed Ghoul from Tokyo Ghoul. Once a regular college student, Kaneki's life was changed forever after a tragic encounter with a ghoul left him transformed into a half-human, half-monster hybrid. Now, his insatiable hunger and deadly Kagune make him a perfect fit for DBD's growing roster of killers. Kaneki's Kagune, the deadly predatory organ that ghouls use to attack, plays a central role in his abilities. Early details suggest his power may include Kagune Slash, a long-reaching attack that can strike multiple survivors at once. Predatory Instinct, a passive ability that grants Kaneki heightened senses, allowing him to track injured survivors more effectively. Some leaks hint at a unique ability where Kaneki grows stronger the more he lands successful hits, mimicking his struggle with ghoul instincts in the anime. While no official survivor has been confirmed, rumors suggest that Tuka Kirishima, Kaneki's ghoul ally, or Hideyoshi Nagachika, his best friend, could be joining the roster. If true, this would mark a rare DBD chapter that introduces a killer and a survivor from the same franchise. As for the map, we could see Anteiku, the mysterious ghoul-run café that served as Kaneki's refuge, or Cochlea, the high-security ghoul prison known for its eerie, claustrophobic atmosphere. Either location would make for a chilling addition to the game. Mark your calendars, April 2nd, 2025 is when the Tokyo Ghoul chapter officially drops. The update will be available on all platforms, including PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch. Fans can also expect a limited-time event, possibly featuring exclusive cosmetics and bonus blood points for diving into the new content. With Kaneki entering Dead by Daylight, the hunt is about to get even deadlier. The only question left is, will you survive the night, or will you become just another meal for the One-Eyed Ghoul? The Dead by Daylight community has seen its fair share of crossovers, from classic horror franchises like Halloween and Silent Hill to pop culture juggernauts like Stranger Things. However, the introduction of Tokyo Ghoul marks the game's first major anime collaboration, and fans are divided yet intrigued. For horror fans, this crossover is an unexpected but welcome addition. Tokyo Ghoul's dark, psychological themes, grotesque transformations, and intense survival elements make it a natural fit for DBD. Kaneki, with his monstrous Kagune and struggle between humanity and hunger, embodies the kind of tragic yet terrifying killer that the game thrives on. On the flip side, some DBD purists worry about anime breaking the game's traditionally dark and realistic horror tone. While Tokyo Ghoul is undoubtedly a horror series, its origins in anime and manga have sparked concerns about whether DBD might be shifting towards more stylized, less traditional horror properties. There's also the concern that an anime killer might visually clash with the game's gritty, realistic aesthetic. However, past crossovers with characters like Pyramid Head, Nemesis, and even the Demogorgon have already proven that DBD can successfully integrate a variety of horror styles without losing its core identity. Despite some skepticism, the overall hype is undeniable. Social media is flooded with discussions about Kaneki's potential abilities, his impact on the game's balance, and what this could mean for future anime horror crossovers. The collaboration is already trending on Google, showing that both DBD and Tokyo Ghoul fans are eager to see how this plays out. Over the years, Dead by Daylight has built a reputation for delivering some of the most exciting horror crossovers in gaming. But how does Tokyo Ghoul stack up against legendary additions like Resident Evil, Silent Hill, or Stranger Things? Resident Evil Chapter 2021 introduced Nemesis as a killer along with survivors Jill Valentine and Leon S. Kennedy. This was a massive hit due to the franchise's deep roots in horror gaming. Silent Hill Chapter 2020 brought Pyramid Head and Cheryl Mason into DBD, adding a psychological horror element that perfectly fit the game's eerie atmosphere. Stranger Things Chapter 2019, removed in 2021, featured the Demogorgon, Nancy Wheeler, and Steve Harrington, proving that DBD could successfully blend supernatural horror with mainstream TV. Compared to these, the Tokyo Ghoul chapter breaks new ground by introducing an anime horror icon. While it may not have the same legacy as Resident Evil or Silent Hill in gaming, its dark themes and unique character abilities could make it one of the most gameplay-altering crossovers in DBD history. One major difference is the flexibility of Kaneki's abilities. Unlike killers with straightforward melee attacks, Kaneki's Kagune could introduce new ranged or transformation-based mechanics, making him one of the most unpredictable killers to date. If implemented correctly, this could push the Tokyo Ghoul chapter into the top tier of DBD collabs, offering both fresh gameplay and a unique horror experience. With Tokyo Ghoul breaking the barrier between anime and Dead by Daylight, fans are already speculating about what other anime horror crossovers could come next. If this chapter performs well, it could open the floodgates for more anime franchises that fit DBD's horror survival theme. Here are a few potential candidates. Attack on Titan. While primarily an action series, Attack on Titan has some truly horrifying elements, especially the grotesque and mindless titans. A killer based on the female Titan or Beast Titan could add a new dimension to DBD, bringing terrifying large-scale threats into the game. Hellsing. A crossover featuring Alucard as a killer would be a dream for gothic horror fans. His supernatural abilities, regenerative powers, and eerie demeanor could make him an intimidating presence in DBD. Parasite. The shape-shifting, body-controlling horror of Parasite could translate into a killer with horrifying mutations and deceptive abilities. The Promised Neverland. While not as action-heavy, this anime's terrifying demons and desperate survival themes could make for an intense DBD experience. The introduction of Tokyo Ghoul could also influence future game mechanics. If Kaneki's Kagune abilities prove successful, we might see killers with more dynamic movement and attack patterns, breaking away from the usual hit-and-chase formula. Another question is whether DBD will introduce anime-style cosmetics for existing survivors. Could we see Meg Thomas in a Tokyo Ghoul-inspired outfit? Or perhaps Dwight Fairfield cosplaying as Kaneki? If Behavior Interactive leans into this collaboration, it could lead to even more creative, anime-inspired customizations in the future. Beyond the hype, one of the biggest questions is how Kaneki will affect the game's balance. Each new killer in Dead by Daylight introduces unique playstyles, and Kaneki's abilities could create a significant meta shift. A new hybrid playstyle? If Kaneki has both melee and ranged Kagune attacks, he could become a hybrid killer, much like the Nemesis or the Artist. This would make him a threat at multiple distances, adding unpredictability to chases. Increased map mobility? If his Kagune allows him to move faster or traverse obstacles in unique ways, he could break the usual movement patterns that survivors are used to exploiting. A hunger mechanic? If Kaneki grows stronger over time, perhaps gaining speed, attack power, or new abilities the more he lands successful hits, it could introduce a high-risk, high-reward playstyle, forcing survivors to be even more strategic in how they engage him. On the survivor side, if Tuka or Hide are added, they might come with perks that counter Kaneki's aggressive playstyle, similar to how previous survivor editions have introduced mechanics tailored to specific killers. The Tokyo Ghoul chapter is shaping up to be one of the most ambitious and experimental crossovers in Dead by Daylight history. While some fans remain skeptical about anime's place in the game, the sheer potential for fresh mechanics, deep horror themes, and unique killer gameplay makes this an update worth watching. Whether this is a one-time anime experiment or the beginning of a new era of anime horror crossovers in DBD, one thing is clear. The Fog has never seen a monster quite like Kaneki before. And on April 2nd, 2025, we'll all find out just how deadly this One-Eyed Ghoul truly is. All the details in this video come from official and reputable sources, including the PlayStation blog, CBR, and Dead by Daylight's official website. You can find the full articles linked in the description if you want to dive deeper into the news. As we get closer to the April 2nd launch, there's always a chance for more reveals. Whether it's new gameplay footage, additional survivor details, or even surprise event bonuses. So, what do you think? Will Kaneki be an unstoppable force in Dead by Daylight, or will he be a balanced yet terrifying addition to the killer roster? Will his Kagune attacks shake up the meta, or do you think survivors will find ways to counter him? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear your theories, predictions, and whether you're excited or skeptical about Tokyo Ghoul entering the Fog. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more deep dives into gaming news, hidden lore, and epic crossovers, hit that like button and subscribe to GameCron X for more in-depth content. So, if any fresh updates drop, I'll be covering them right here on GameCron X. Stay tuned, and make sure you're subscribed with notifications on so you don't miss any new developments in the world of Dead by Daylight. April 2nd is coming fast. Are you ready to survive?